Hello everyone, my name is Noel and welcome to Star Wars Battlefront 2, the top 5 heroes and villains. Now before we begin, if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe because for the remainder of this week and going into the upcoming weeks, I will be showing you a ton of exclusive Star Wars Battlefront 2 content, so if you would like to check that out, make sure you keep it locked here to the Cancrazans. And also, just as a disclaimer, this list is just my personal opinion. If there are heroes or villains that I don't mention that you end up liking when the full game releases, don't shout at me, give me a break. But this is just a general indication of the people that I was able to use quite well and I had a bit of success with. So now that we've got all that out of the way, let's jump right on into it. Kicking us off at number 5 is a name you guys probably wouldn't expect to be less low down in the list, and that is Darth Maul. Now there are a few reasons why he is not a few places ahead, but let's begin with all the things that make him so awesome. So to start off with, he is the only character with a double-bladed lightsaber. Not that it makes too much difference in the grand scheme of things, but it does mean that he has this incredible attack where he basically throws his lightsaber, it does damage on its way and also on the way back with, both blades ignited. He also has this attack where he jumps and spins in the air and just mauls everyone in front of him, pun intended I guess there. And he can also basically force choke the life out of people. So he's a very powerful character and he's so agile. In fact, that is the only way to use him if you're constantly moving around, because the one negative he has which really takes away from how good he could possibly be is that he cannot deflect blaster fire. Unlike most other Jedi and Sith, he has to basically just constantly move about to avoid being attacked. Other than that, he is an awesome character and I'm sure you will all have fun with him. Moving on to number 4, and this time we have a Jedi and his name is Luke Skywalker. Now there's pretty much only one reason I included him on today's list, and that is because of one power, that being his Force Push. Now that might not sound like all that an incredible power, but trust me, when you're playing on maps like Kamino or in the Naboo Royal Palace, this power is so overpowered. Fortunately, I was able to use it a few times to simply blast people off the map, but I was also subject to this and it was so annoying. There was absolutely nothing you could do. You could be a really powerful character and still just be blown off the map and that is you dead. So expect to be frustrated a lot of times if you're up against Luke Skywalker, but honestly, if you go Luke Skywalker, you don't even really need to use your lightsaber, just force push people and that's you already got a ton of kills. Coming in at the midway point is Chewbacca, which I know will surprise some of you watching this because you would have probably expected this list to be primarily consisting of Jedi and Sith. But honestly, this year, Star Wars Battlefront 2, there's not too much difference between those with a lightsaber and those without. I think EA have done an excellent job of making it just more balanced and making it so you actually have the choice to pick all these other characters. It's not just the same old people you're going to see time and time again. What makes Chewbacca so unique from anyone else and so powerful are basically his bowcaster on its own is a really good weapon, but also if you use his 3 abilities and if you use them in conjunction. Because he has this grenade that basically sends electric pulses on the ground, it basically stuns people. He also has another ability that makes his bowcaster even more powerful. And finally, he has this Wookiee rage where he basically just charges people down and smashes the ground next to them. So as I was saying, if you could use these in conjunction, you could pretty much take on anyone. And when you could kill Darth Vader in single combat on your own, then you know you've got a pretty good character. Just slightly missing out in at the number 2 spot is Yoda. What more can I say about Yoda other than you have to play as him at some point? I think what makes him so good is the fact that he's very small, so therefore he's quite a small target, and unlike Darth Maul, he can actually block incoming blaster fire, so you don't really have to rely on his agility as much, although you can simply jump around like mad if you want to. and like Luke Skywalker, he also has a force push type of ability, so if you also want to annoy people and push them off the map, then I guess all is fair game here. And last but not least, insert your own drum roll if you so wish, it is Boba Fett. Now before you click off the video and say, oh, how come a Jedi or Sith isn't top of the list, what's this all about? Hear me out. Boba Fett is honestly the best character in the game. He is so overpowered, it is unbelievable. After playing with Chewbacca, I thought to myself, surely there's not a person that only wields a blaster that is more powerful than he is. But then I had a few games with Boba Fett and experienced his true awesomeness. For one, he has a jetpack. Now that might not sound like a big deal, but this can get very overpowered and annoying to the opposition. I did annoy a lot of people using this jetpack, because not only can you fly away from Jedi when they're trying to attack you with their lightsaber, meaning you're pretty much invincible unless you're being shot at with a blaster, and even given that you can just fly around and dodge it. But what is even more overpowered than that is you could fly to parts of the map that people just cannot get to. So for example, on the Endor map on Heroes vs Villains, I flew to the roof of this sort of canopy that linked between trees, and it meant that no one could come up and attack me. No one could even see where I am. I was basically just raining down wave after wave of blaster fire on people and getting a ton of kills. And every time I was the selected target for that mode, meaning I had to be killed for the opposition to get points, no one could kill me. It's something that I'm sure will annoy people, and maybe EA will nerf it at some point, but his jetpack is such a great tool to equip. And also he has this special ability where he just rains down what seems like incendiary rockets, and if you could basically wipe out anyone, no matter their health, no matter if it's Darth Vader, or if it's Rey, or if it's Kylo Ren or something like that, you can wipe out anyone in the game. This guy is so overpowered, and now that I've told everyone the sort of tricks, I'm really not looking forward to coming up against him online when the game fully comes out, but nonetheless, you definitely have to check him out. So there we have it, my top 5 Star Wars Battlefront 2 heroes and villains. But now I want to hear from you. Let me know in the comments below the heroes and villains out of the 14 you can possibly play so far. Who do you think looks like the best character? Who do you think looks the most overpowered? Just let me know in the comments below all your opinions on every single character, and also the heroes versus villains mode, which I will talk about in more detail in a separate video. Also, if you have by chance happened to play with any of the heroes and villains so far, let me know what you think of them, and I will be sure to join in the discussion down below. Of course, for more exclusive Star Wars Battlefront 2 content just like this, as well as all my thoughts and opinions of every single game mode, be sure to keep it locked here to the Cancrazans. Thanks so much for watching guys, and I'll see you very soon.